Hello, welcome to 2020 Tasty Treats with GourmetQuilter. I'm Susan Clare, GourmetQuilter, and we're doing a series of applique, and in fact applique dogs this time. There's some up here on the wall behind me. There's a picture here of the 20. We're doing 20 different dog appliques, and we've already done 5, so we are a quarter of the way through. We are up to dog number 6. So there's a pattern available through GourmetQuilter.com. It's a downloadable pattern. Each day there's a pattern, new one to download for 20 days. We're up to day 6 already, and of course the video where I'm showing you what it is that I'm doing. So I've gone ahead and I've got this one ready to position the rest of the pieces on. So in the earlier ones I showed you how I'm tracing off some of the lines and things. Because this is such a dark fabric that I'm using here, I've just used a mechanical, I've got a little yellow marking pencil, mechanical pencil, that I'm using because I don't think the lead of the regular pencil would show up on there. The other thing is I have gone ahead and I've marked his nose and his eye, and again, because it's such a dark fabric, it's not showing a lot. So what we might end up doing, in fact we can do it right now, particularly with his eye, is just pop a little twinkle in his eye, so just a little white dot. So we're not trying to make it a whole shape. We'll just leave it at that and just see what happens when we've finished the applique. We may have to come back and do a little bit more. In the meantime, he's just sitting there, and he's got this tail, and this is a very interesting little dog that we've got going on here. It's got all these little I guess they're little fluffy bits. They look a little bit like flowers, but I don't think they are flowers. So we've got little fluffy knees, we've got a little fluffy on the end of the tail. And then we've got this hairdo on top. I think that's probably going to come in a bit like that, and another one across the top there. And that's pretty exciting, isn't it? And we may find that the nose and things just stands out enough. We'll have a look when we finish. Well, the nose will be fine, it's the eye I'm a little bit concerned about. So we've got the marking here that we've got to stitch as we go. Other than that, I think everything's ready to iron in place. And I'm doing free motion stitching. So I've got my machine set up with V-teeth down, I've got a dark grey thread on, I've got a little open toe free motion foot on. I'm using a stabiliser behind so that it stitches nicely with the free motion. It does need some sort of stabiliser. And I think we're ready to do some stitching. I think I might just start with this little top knot up here. So we're going to do this bigger, longer one that sits underneath first. And it's just really a matter of following around that little edge. Just taking our time. So this, having a darker thread in here just helps emphasize the shapes a little bit. And so we've come back up here, and I might just trim that starting thread end. And now I can go straight on to the next piece up here. So you can see that whilst it looks a little bit tricky perhaps, it isn't really that bad at all. You can just take your time and just follow those shapes around. It's quite fun actually, quite therapeutic, this free motion stitching. So I'm back to the beginning of that bit now. So I've just got to go round, obviously around his head and legs and tail and things. So it's really fairly straightforward, I think, for most of this now. I might start down here near his tail and come up his back and just get that done. So it's fairly straightforward. I'll be stitching on the line that I've drawn with that yellow marker there. Otherwise just outlining all the shapes. So I will keep going and I'll come back and show you nearer the end. So just on this little fluffy kneecap here. I love the fluffy kneecaps. So I've done the top bit of the leg dividing there. I need to come back down here, just a little bit of it there, and come back around on this, and then I can just join back down into this lower part of the leg dividing line. And I've gone already around the foot, so I'm just going to turn around and come back up again to that fluffy kneecap. And end off there. And I've been thinking about how we can help that eye stand out a little bit better. And I think what we can do is maybe stitch around it, as if we were appliquing it, but we're not. So I have already drawn it, so I'm not sure that you can see it, but I can see it. So I'm just going to stitch as if I'm appliquing it, but just around the eye. And I think even though it's still in a dark colour, it will just help the eye to stand out just that little bit. Without making it too obvious. So around it twice. I also did stitch around the nose as well, and I think that's looking a whole lot better because we can see it now. So we'll give them a little press. And we'll pop him up on the gallery there with those other dogs. It's looking quite decorative, this dog, I think. Possibly a little superior. However, that was the applique dog number 6, and I will see you again with applique number 7.